Hello and welcome to Bad at Board Games. My name is Brad Lake and I'm bad at board games so you don't have to be. And I like to hit the little 3 buttons and I still haven't added any new ones yet, so this is what we're getting. Clapping and clapping, and if I hit the button too soon, it shuts it off. So I've learned that too. All the things that you don't care about, you're just like, why? I'm going to click off right now. So, I have a Kingdom Death series I'm doing because I'm binging the living crap out of it. I am 12 games in, and I would consider a game essentially being like, I've done the village stuff, I've gone and hunted, and then I've fought the beast, and then I've come back and then, so that 3 series thing, I have now played 12 times. I've had to restart my village once already, and not because of a wipe, but I'm like, I lost all my survivor good ones, and then I'm just like, I need to try to reset this settlement and try again. So just to let you know where I'm at in the whole thing, and this isn't like an in-depth review because I haven't gotten all the way through it, but I thought I'd kind of give some new people that might be interested in Kingdom Death a Noobs Perspective that's kind of recent because it's the 1.6 version and doesn't have all the other rule clarifications and things. Everything's updated and so forth and so on. So from my standpoint, I thought I'd give you why watch this? So what's my initial impression of it? How many games do I think I need to play to get my money's worth out of it? An initial BGG rating, where I can actually give you that. Do I think it's worth it? What's the value rating? I'm going to give you some of my watch out fors. Like there's a couple I would say don't get this if kind of things. We're going to kind of go from there. So I'll give you I wouldn't recommend this thing first. So if you do not have a table that you can leave this out and you have enough room for the settlement stuff and the main board, I would have a hard time recommending this game. I have this sitting on a dedicated table that I used for my B-roll, and now all my B-roll is going to be here for a while I play Kingdom Death on the other one. It's huge, and like if you have to set this game up every time, even with all the little dividers it comes with, I think it would be almost too daunting. The only reason I've had this game a week, I have had it a week and a half, and I don't think I could have come close. I probably wouldn't have half the games I've played if I didn't have a place that was just sitting out to play it. And the settlement stuff takes up just as much room as the area where you're battling in the mat and everything like that. So just kind of be aware of that. I mean, that's a non-starter for a lot of people. I mean, when I bought Gloomhaven, I actually bought just a kitchen table kind of thing, and that took over our kitchen. Now, at the time, it was just me and my boys, so I could do those kinds of things. If you're married, your significant other may have a problem with that. But if you have a basement or if you have a room where you can set something up like this, then you're good to go. So that's my biggest caveat with this. The other is the price. It's now selling for like $420. I don't know if that includes shipping or not from Kingdom Death Monster Adam Poots Games. I was able to get mine at a local, it's kind of a game store, but it's more like an anime and video games, and the owner gets Kickstarters and may buy 10 of them, to be able to sell. So he doesn't have a lot of board games, but he has Warhammer 40K, tons of models for like Gundam and all kinds of anime things. But this has been sitting there for at least a year, and I've been eyeballing it for a long time, and then at Gen Con and so forth. And I just asked him, I'm like, would you take $350 for it? And so plus tax. So this not a cheap game. But I felt like, okay, well, I got it $70 off. Box was a little bit scuffed up, and so I felt like I could negotiate a little bit. And looking online, I'm just not sure Like it's not easily available, I should say, at a lower price, like used or anything like that. And then you're having to pay shipping, blah blah blah. So in my opinion, because I believe that you want to try to push a game down to like $10 a play, right? And I know there's the debate about, is it $10, per play, or is it per the hours you're playing? Now I'm spending probably about 2 hours per session. So the settlement session, the hunt part, which is the shortest, and then the actual boss battle itself. So I'm kind of averaging out. It's about 2 hours for that whole thing in the settlement session, and then like leveling up your characters and doing all the sheets and everything, I think takes longer than the actual boss battle. Now I've only been doing, like, I've had to fight the butcher, and I've done the screaming antelope a couple times, and the white lion I've fought the most, and at level 1 for the most part. So take that into consideration. I haven't done the like level 2. I've done one level 2, almost got wiped, or level 3 like boss battles. So like I said, this is more of a as you're getting into this kind of thing. But I figure I need to play this 40 times to get the money that I put into this thing out. And I think that's always been a barrier to entry for me. And I think that's also why you really need to think about, can I leave this out? Can I jump into it and like do the settlement thing for about an hour, get everything set up, figure out which monster I'm going to go out, set all the cards up, get the hunt track set up, and then like maybe the next day or the next time you have time that week, then you can sit down and play the game. So like, that's when they say these are lifestyle games, it's like, you may not finish this game. You may not, like, people have talked about, like, I've only beat the end boss of the base game like once, and you're going to reset and start over and reset and start over. So it's definitely, when they talk about lifestyle games, that's what they mean. That's been a hindrance to me. I finally just decided, like, I want to try it. I was so amped up about it that I really just wanted to finally check it out. And kind of what was killing me, and I'm going to do this versus that. I kickstarted Oathsworn like a year ago, November, and I'm like, okay, well, it's still not going to come until like November, even though I'd seen like it was getting on the ships and the boats and all that stuff. And at Gen Con, I saw the Kingdom Death Monster, and I was like, oh, I just couldn't wait for Oathsworn. I was really hoping Oathsworn would be the boss battler, and I wouldn't, and but I picked this up anyway, and now this week I got a notification that my Oathsworn all-in has shipped. I will not be able to play this and Oathsworn at the same time. I may have to put up some sawhorses and make another table. We shall see. But I'm going to compare and contrast these two, but that's that. I don't know where I went with that, but back on track with this. The things I like about it are, like, I enjoy model building. I've played Warhammer 40K. I love dice building. So if you've like played Kill Team, if you've played dice games and like dice battle games, I think you'll like this. Now, it's a big barrier to entry with the price, but then you can get, like, I love building models. I like painting models. I've only painted one of them. The lion so far, and it was just to throw some paint on it. I don't want to show it off or anything, but like, that process is cool. And then the puzzle, I like the way that you fight the monsters, because you've got a stack of attack cards, they call them AI cards, and that the monster's doing things at different times, and so that you continually are reacting to what the monster's doing. But then as you wound the monster, those cards start going away, and so that can be good or bad. You may not be getting rid of an attack that is, like the really horrible tough attack, or you may, and you just don't know. And then those attacks the monster have start cycling faster and faster and faster every time they attack. And then they have a wound deck, and so you're flipping the wound deck over, and then you're trying to find out what happens. The monster can react to you and attack you even if you wound, or there's a trap card in there. So I like the mechanic and how they all set that up. I find that very interesting, and I really have enjoyed that part of it. And then I've enjoyed the fact I'm enjoying like building my characters up more than I thought. I thought I would really hate the settlement side of things, and I'm finding I'm enjoying that and trying to, you know, pick which things the characters want to specialize in. And it's not quite like, it's not D&D, but it just flavors it enough with D&D. Your gear and everything can transfer when you're back at the settlement, depending on who you send out to hunt. But like, I'm enjoying that phase. I haven't done a great job of building my gear. Kind of starting to watch more videos on that. But like, all of that stuff coming in, I've really enjoyed. So I have been pleasantly surprised how much I've enjoyed this game. The cons of it, like playing solo, is that I'm managing all 4 characters, and that's not so hard on the board itself, but managing like their little, like, oh, this person gets to get a reroll, or this person gets something else, while you're trying to remember some of the things that the monsters, like the negatives, you might have been able to do a hit and hurt it in a way, and then there's this card that's sitting out there. If this happens, you know, it's a benefit for you, but then sometimes you forget that because you're managing all the other stuff. So that's where playing this game solo has its pluses and minuses. In the rule book, they kind of say, you know, just focus on the settlement and making sure that is all working, because you can get overwhelmed trying to like get all your characters and your survivors like out onto the board. So I have been doing that. I would say, you know, that's a pro. It's a gray area, but I enjoy it. I think something else that you'd have to realize, I am playing this solo. I've been able to play it 12 times because it's out. I also don't think, like, it's like herding cats when you're trying to do campaigns with people. If I could only play this once a month, trying to get, or once a week, 40 plays in to get to my $10 price tag, that would be almost a year. And you may or may not win. Like, you're not going to win, you know, and you're going to restart. And like, I don't think I would have, I think that's where these things fall apart. The owner of the store, he said him and another guy played it, and they finally got to a point in the game where they're like, we know we're not going to be able to beat the boss because we didn't level up correctly. We didn't have the right gear. And that's the appeal and the downside to this game. But if you're only able to play with somebody else every once in a while or once a week, then, you know, this is why I like playing these games solo. It's not that somebody can't come in and take your character and then you can play a battle, and then, like, you know, anti-kingdom death. If you fail because they've never played the game, you just reset, and then when they leave, you can redo it yourself. But you know, that's I think I will get 40 plays of this in. God, I really hope so. Otherwise, I spend a lot of money and don't feel like I'm getting my value out of it. But, you know, I want to experience this game. I want to go through it, and I'm enjoying all the different aspects of it. It's so engrossing. You need to go online and look at the FAQs to see what the rules are and how to clarify, and get a Facebook group and ask questions on that, and go on Reddit and either read, or, you know, like, I like all that stuff. So that's a pro, and that can be a con. I'm finding that it's given me this Games Workshop 40K-ish vibe in a board game that, in a way, I didn't think was available. Because, like, Warhammer 40K, you get all these books and you're reading all these things, and it's so much backstory and everything that's going on, and the story along with this, I'm enjoying it. Every scenario, something happens, you go and you flip to the story of the book. You know, like when you age, what happens, the first death, the first time you try to have a baby, you know, all these things. You've got a knight that comes in and may or may not do good things, and then the king's guard came in and he killed 5 of my guys. That, like, you know, things like this. It's just, it creates this story that you don't know what's going to happen as you're discovering what's going on. And you're unlocking new monsters year over year over year. It's it's brutal. It's the whole world, the world building of it is extremely impressive. I haven't seen this in so long. Gloomhaven didn't do it for me because it's just, it's fantasy. It's the typical, D&D. It's D&D in a box. This is like this whole new experience in a world that I never heard of before, and the way that they go about it, and the monsters, and just everything is just, it's unique. I would say, it's extremely unique. The other thing that I'm liking about it so far is, they call it a boutique game. Everything in it is top notch. I would say the miniatures are as close to GW miniatures that I've seen. They're not quite there. I mean, Games Workshop is just, they're the best at all the models. Nobody comes close, even though they think they do. They just don't. These are pretty close. There could be more refinement in the molds and there's details. It could be better, but it's probably starts to push things too expensive. Got a lot of models. I haven't put them all together yet. So that's another part of, I'm not including that in the value of the game, because as you put those together, you're spending time putting them together, even if you don't paint them. It's this whole experience. I can understand why they call it a boutique. It allows it to elevate the price. But everything they have, it's kind of like opening up. When you open this up, it's like getting something from Apple. The box is nice. The wrapping is nice. This is nice. The book is nice. Like, everything is curated to this experience within the game itself. So, I know I'm all over the place. It is what it is. The weight rating of this is a tough game. There's so many keywords and so many things going on, and all those kinds of things you just have to be aware of. It's a 4 or 5. It's up there on weight rating, mainly because of all the little intricacies of how the rules work and how this card works, and understanding what a critical hit is. The value of this, like I said, if you're not going to play this 40 times, expect to play this 40 times, I would pass on it. Maybe 30, but you got to understand what you're looking for and the amount of money you're going to spend on this game. Maybe you just want to buy it for the miniatures, but that'd be very expensive. Although if you're buying that many miniatures in 40K, it's going to be about the same. So, my current BGG rating, and so I've played it over 10 times, right? But I'm nowhere near. I'm not even in the mid game yet. I'm already this is a 9 out of 10. This is my initial impressions. This is, typically you should be able to say what a game rating is after 10 plays. I've got 12 in, so take that for what it is. And we're kind of going to go from there. Let me know what you think. Have you ever been interested in Kingdom Death Monster? I shied away from it for as long as I could, and then finally took the plunge. And I'm happy I did. I'm thoroughly enjoying this experience. So we'll see what happens from here. And just remember, comment, let me know how dumb I sound. Why are you into this game? It's like so old now, and I would never touch it. But anyway, hit the subscribe button if you like this kind of stuff. I'm not going to become a Kingdom Death Monster channel, but you will be seeing Kingdom Death stuff sprinkled in as I continue to binge this. So, and then hopefully we'll see about Oathsworn and how does that one compare in the story and everything compared to this. We'll see how I can intermingle those two experiences at the same time. Alrighty, so just remember, no matter how you play, whether it's solo, with family, or friends, enjoy whatever you are bringing to the table. Have a great night. Bye.